Hello and welcome back to the Top Bins football podcast. Myself and Skanda are going to be divulging in a few different issues today. We're going to start with a roundup of the recent FA Cup games that we've seen, that we've witnessed this weekend. So we're on the Sunday 24th of January, so we've just seen a few other FA Cup fixtures. Chelsea beating Luton, Leicester through against Brentford, and Burnley beating Fulham. There's a few more to come before the weekend is over. But we're going to start on the Saturday FA Cup fixtures. And Skanda, unfortunately, we have to start with the early kickoff, which I believe was your team, Arsenal. So I'll let you discuss what you feel about that. But Southampton, obviously 1-0 winners in that.
Well, obviously it's disappointing because we were the holders of the FA Cup, and it wasn't really the best way to go out. Didn't score, didn't look too threatening. We created some chances, but obviously it wasn't a good enough performance. And I do think we've been criticised heavily after that defeat. What's your thoughts?
Like holders of the FA Cup. So I can understand it's quite disappointing. However, Southampton, I mean, it's not the worst team to go out to because they're doing very well in the Premier League. It was actually an own goal, wasn't it? The goal went down as a Gabriel own goal.
It was an own goal. It was like a cross.
Yeah.
And a deflection that would put it into the net.
Arsenal will obviously be very. I heard Mikel Arteta's interview afterwards, and he was just saying how disappointed he was, and he feels he could have played better. So it just goes to show. I think that's another example of Arteta's management style. Obviously, managers will be disappointed when their team loses matches, but just in the nature of how he was speaking, I think I could just tell Arteta really, was really hurt by this. Really.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I don't think we're gonna win the league this year. Obviously, mathematically, it's obviously always possible, but
true.
Not really showing.
Yeah, cup competition.
That's right. Not really showing any real consistency in the league and FA Cups and there's sort of the things that we do have a good chance of winning it. And he's played a second class team there. They're not really starters, these players at the minute. Most of them at the attack.
Yeah.
And it's obviously hasn't really worked out for him, and he's been a bit slated for it, really.
So would you have gone with a stronger team?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're playing against Southampton in a couple of days in the league.
Right.
So it's almost as if we could have gone in with a stronger team and
I mean Arsenal
next game, because we would have played them again. They couldn't really use the players that will be too tired for the next game because we were playing against the same team. Yeah,
I do get what you're saying about the cup. The fact that they're not going to get too much in the league this season. With the way things are going, though, they could potentially get top four. You never know.
Top four.
But I feel this cup was very important to Arsenal. It was their probably one and only chance of silverware this season. So it was disappointing to go out. I see that they started with Nketiah up front. What do you think of Eddie Nketiah? What's your opinion on him?
Well, my opinion on him is he's still young. He's still a young player. I think he's got a lot of developing he needs to do. I think it's he obviously flashed onto the scenes a couple of years ago in this competition. Coming on as a substitute and scoring 2 goals. But hasn't really managed to perform any real consistency when he's been playing. I mean, I feel like he needs to be given chances, of course. I guess the cup competitions, I think Arteta must feel that we can get top 4. Otherwise, I don't think he would have been playing this team out on the week couple of days ago.
You think, you think he does believe they can get top four?
Yeah, I mean, the team that he put out, I think, for this game, that just happened in the FA Cup against Southampton, I think that team indicates that he believes that there's something to be achieved in the Premier League. Because, if you look at it, the top teams, they are sort of being a bit inconsistent. You've got Chelsea, they're sort of dropped out of form. We talked about the other day about Vardy going out injured for Leicester, and De Bruyne for City, and Liverpool being a bit out of form, and Tottenham, they never really ever shown true consistency throughout a year. So there's a thought that they could probably drop off. Everton, it's their first sort of season, again for a while going at the top. So there is a chance there, and I think he believes in that.
Yeah, I believe so as well, actually, with the way things are going. Like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal do put a few good results together, and then all of a sudden, they could be near the top four, or at least in Europa League place. They're still in the Europa League, aren't they, this season?
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see, how seriously, I guess, Arteta takes that. I mean, probably very seriously.
Well, it's another way of getting into the Champions League if you win it.
Yeah, exactly. So probably going to, now that they're out of the FA Cup, I imagine Arteta will be fielding a very strong team in that competition. They did very well in the group stage, didn't they? I just remember watching some group stage matches with Arsenal, and they did seem very comfortable, in comparison to how they were in the Premier League. It seemed like two different sides.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just better against some of the lower European teams that play. I mean, because we like to play football, really. And I feel in England it's more of a physical game.
Right.
Stronger, faster, more stamina. It's more technical, I think, in the Europa League, and I think we're better equipped at dealing with that.
Yeah, that's a decent point. So that was the early kickoff in the Saturday round of fixtures. Let's go through some other ones just quickly as well. So Sheffield United picking up only their third win of the entire season yesterday, beating Plymouth in the fourth round by 2-1, so they're through to the fifth round. Just go through some other results. Barnsley beating Norwich. Brighton Blackpool 2-1. There was a wonder goal in that game from Basuma. Did you see that, Skunda?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, great finish, long range, right-footed effort, and I think it was top corner. It was a fantastic finish. Bristol City beating Millwall. Swansea with a big win against Nottingham Forest. West Ham beating Doncaster 4-0, very comfortable for them. And let's go on to Cheltenham Manchester City. Talk about that for a little bit, because it was 3-1. Cheltenham took the lead, of course, with a sort of poacher's goal, wasn't it, from their striker May. And City only got out of it with 3 goals in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fairly exciting game, I think. As the minutes kept ticking, you were sort of being really hopeful. And City, they didn't really look the best out there, did they? I mean,
no.
I feel like it was down to energy and stamina at the end.
Right.
And that's what won City the game. They obviously were more physically in better condition than them, and that showed. Yeah,
it did. I mean, they were quite fortuitous, as you say. I think as the game grew on, they just had more. They were fitter than Cheltenham's players, and they could just, they produced a surge in the last 10 minutes. Does this result and the nature of it, seeing how City struggled, even though I know they were a weakened side. I'm just looking at their lineup now. They had Harwood Bellis at right back, Doyle in midfield. All these sort of names that we're not quite familiar with. But I was going to ask you, Skunda, do you think this result and seeing how City struggled through it, does it change your opinion of them in terms of the Premier League, or would you say not? Not really.
No. I mean, if you're alluding to the fact that obviously De Bruyne is out, and this is like the first game without him. I don't think he would have really played this game anyway, and I feel like it's just one of those games that these games can sort of happen when you're playing against the lower end teams because they're really up for it, and they're really up for it. And the more the game ticks on, the more confidence they get, and the better that they will be playing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's at their ground, so they know how to play there, and I don't think City are really used to playing on a pitch like that. And I feel like we need to judge City more on the games they play, in the Premier League to see how they will do without De Bruyne.
Yeah. So a couple of individuals. Gabriel Jesus missed a couple of good chances in that match. Obviously, he's kind of in the side because of, I'd say, obviously Aguero has been diagnosed with COVID, so he's out, and he's been out for the majority of the season. Gabriel Jesus, a lot of weight on his shoulders. What do you make of him? Like, it's quite inconsistent in my opinion, isn't he? I don't know if City... I think that's probably why sometimes they go without a recognised striker, because he's very inconsistent, yeah.
I feel like it's a confidence issue with him. I feel like that's a lot with a lot of strikers, really. I think he sort of knows he's not the main man in the team, and obviously with every game that he's not performing too well in, it's affecting him mentally. Because he's probably thinking he's not really going to get these chances again as much as this. I think he still has a lot of developing to do, but I do think a lot of it is to do psychologically.
Yeah.
He needs more belief and confidence in himself. Maybe he's not really getting that at City.
Possibly not. Yeah, I mean, as I say, they have played a couple of games recently without a recognised striker, so that must dent the confidence of him a little bit, the fact, seeing them...
I think have more than a little bit.
Yeah.
Because imagine being a striker and the main striker goes out, you're like the second choice, and then you're still sitting on the bench, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
It's just detrimental to a player's confidence, I feel.
He is 23. Maybe we should have brought him up when we were talking about strikers before, actually, because he's also 23 years of age, Gabriel Jesus. As I say, I think he's just inconsistent, but he's got time to grow. He's in a very good team, so he has a lot of good players around him, so he'll get the chances. Maybe yesterday was just a case of the fact that he was in the team after a long time out or something, and just didn't look as fresh as normal.
Yeah, and I feel like playing against teams like Cheltenham when you're City, especially for the strikers, it can be a bit more
daunting,
pressure, really, because everyone's expecting you to do well, and that just puts more pressure on you. And if your confidence isn't already up to scratch, then it's just not a good thing, really.
No.
Obviously, in the end, he got his goal, didn't he?
He did get his goal, yeah. He got the second goal, and that was a good finish, to be fair. So, yeah, he's still very good. He's got loads of ability, which we can see. But yeah, the nature of the match may have played a part with the whole team, really. But they did well to, I guess, get out of that because it was a possibly difficult place to go. Went behind, so they showed character. Phil Foden got the equaliser in that match, so he scored City's equaliser, got them back into the game, and began their sort of surge at the end of the match. I made a video before, obviously, about Phil Foden, and I really rate him. Do you rate him, Skander? What's your thoughts on him?
I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
I think he's obviously in good form at the minute. It's just one of those things that I don't want to sort of say too much about him just yet. I feel like maybe wait until the season's over and then review him properly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I just think he's playing well, and we should just let him play well and see how it goes. I do like what I see from him, though. He's a team player, and he seems capable of being independent on the ball as well.
Yeah,
which
definitely.
is always good to see.
Yeah, I think I think he's got a lot of development. But from what I can see so far, yeah, he's got great decision making, great energy. When he comes onto the pitch, he seems to deliver pretty much every time for City. I think he's a great prospect, not just for them, but also for England as well. But yeah, he's still young. Let him develop. See how he gets on. Regarding today's results, we saw Chelsea beat Luton Town earlier by 3-1. And just going through the other results as well, Leicester beating Brentford, they're through. Fulham lost at home to Burnley by 3-0.